Hey guys, Gavin the editor here. This is our first episode. Things won't be perfect, as we're still working out the bugs and learning as we go. But anyways, enjoy the show.
John Madden.
Mike Joy.
Al Michaels, Jim Nance, Vern Lundquist, Vin Scully. There have been many great commentators who have joined forces in the commentary booth. All these great names we mentioned vary from sport to sport. Baseball, basketball, football, hockey, Olympics, NASCAR, golf, it doesn't matter. And like them, we will vary from sport to sport. We'll talk about any sport, no matter how big or how small. We will give you the top news headlines in sports bi-weekly Tuesdays. Make sure to follow us on anywhere you get your podcasts, subscribe to our YouTube channel, make sure to give each podcast a like, it really helps us out. I'm Luke Olenchak, this is Connor Dempkosky, this is Bobby Delescavage. We are the three new biggest, greatest, hottest names in sports commentary. And this is the commentary booth. Thank you for joining us. Let's get right into some of the top stories in the world of sports, starting off with a bit niche, college hockey. This comes from down in State College, a place where my brother and sister attended and a place I will die for. Love you, Coach Matt Campbell. Penn State's top player and top NHL prospect, with that matter, Gavin McKenna, was charged with felony aggravated assault and could be facing up to 20 years in prison. Now, Gavin McKenna, for those of you who don't know, was probably the biggest recruit in Penn State hockey history. And
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. When he came through, it was such a big deal. Because usually for Penn State, we're a football school, right?
Yep.
Right. We're like, oh, let's get this guy. This guy's the top player in Pennsylvania. This doesn't usually happen for any sport. For him to be that highly touted for a sport other than football was a pretty big deal. And Penn State's got a great hockey program building right now. They got this new $88 million arena.
Damn.
And I guess recently there was a family thing. Somebody said something about his mom, and he kind of beat the crap out of the guy, to be honest. So
Happens.
yes. So really, in any sport, Bobby, you are a huge NFL fan, and NFL is no stranger to prospects really throwing away their careers very early. So do you think that something like this, how badly do you think this is going to affect his draft stock if he does get drafted?
Because you'll see, not even just with guys coming out in the draft getting into trouble like this, NFL players that are already in the league, like when it happened to Darius Geis, he had an assault charge, I think. Ray Rice, his ruined his career.
Yes.
Some people, like Joe Mixon, escaped his. I don't know how Joe Mixon escaped his. Kareem Hunt had a couple. He was off for 3 years, something like that from his. But then he made his way back into the league. They're talking about what's Raiders? Ruggs.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
Henry Ruggs.
With the drunk driving.
Oh yeah.
But they're saying when he gets out of prison, he might make a return.
Yeah.
It's possible to get out of it. You know what I mean? But it's hard.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time and a lot of. I guess they probably have to prove to the coaches that they're a changed person.
And speaking of proving stuff to the coaches, Connor, even though you don't follow hockey that much, but you have morals, right?
Yeah.
If you're the coach, what do you think the punishment should be? What do you think the coach would say to his team after, this whole incident? Like your star player goes out. Like, what do you think as a coach he would say?
That is a tough position to be in because, it's your star player, but also the morals, like you're saying. So you kind of have to respect that and kind of almost move on from him, I would almost think, because, he's facing time in jail possibly.
Yes.
You have to address it, but you have to also be able to move past it. You can't stick on it.
You can't just ignore it. That something has to be addressed here.
Yeah. Speaking from recent perspective, there were two Penn State players who were charged with sexual assault who were kicked off the team. Penn State's very strict about that stuff too, because again, our athletic programs are very on the national radar. So as soon as something like that happens, they're out. But it sounds like he was defending his mama. And
Yeah.
if you say something about my mama, mama said knock you out. So I'm not condoning violence. I'm just saying I understand why he did it.
Also, do we know how bad the injuries were on the person?
I guess I heard there were lacerations.
Okay, so like the Mark Sanchez situation?
Yeah, like the Mark Sanchez situation, which That's pretty wild. I forgot about
Yeah.
that even happened. Our next top story is this man right here.
James Harden.
James Harden, a man who I have never forgiven as a 76ers fan, personally.
I still love him.
So James Harden, there's been a lot of NBA trades recently. In fact, just a few days ago, Anthony Davis got traded to the Wizards. For basically
Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely
And this
nothing
goes
at
back
all.
to that Luka trade. Do you guys remember that?
Yes,
the Luka
you
trade?
can't forget that.
You don't know? Well, Luka Doncic was the face of the Mavericks franchise, averaging 38 and 8 a game, 30 points, 8 rebounds.
And about 25, 26 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
Extremely young.
Wow.
Yep, just took them to the finals, traded him.
No
Traded him
kidding.
for a man who gets injured every
And
single
is
time
about
he steps on
30,
the court.
34, 30,
Yeah.
early,
no, he's yeah, no, I think
early to
he's,
mid 30s.
yeah, I think he's 32.
Really?
Yeah.
And cannot stay healthy.
And now they are like, "Oh, we got Cooper Flag," and he's
That was the biggest bailout in my lifetime.
Oh my God, yes.
That the same year they trade Luka, they happened to win the lottery and get what is supposed to be a generational player at number 1.
yes, and then Nico Harrison just recently got fired. But back to the James Harden trade. Now Harden has had a history of going from team to
Since he left the Rockets, it's been a downward spiral.
Well, he hasn't really been able to work well with a lot of players, I'd say, especially a lot of 1 guards or 2 guards.
Yes.
Like Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook. If you can't work with Chris Paul, because Chris Paul elevates his players, and then he came to Philly with Maxey, and they kind of bonded
And
a little bit.
he really had to change his game once he went to Brooklyn and to Philly, because he wasn't the top scorer anymore.
No.
When you're with Durant, when you're with Maxey and Embiid, and he was probably about 32 when he went to Philly, 32 or 33 probably.
Around there.
He's 37 now. He might have been older than that.
been like 34.
But now he's one of the best passers in the league.
Yes.
Which he really went from one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen, regular season at least,
Yes.
to now one of the best passers in the NBA.
Yes.
So he had to really change his game to work around that, but he really hasn't meshed with anyone, even with Kawhi.
No, absolutely not. And Connor, for you, like you hear about this star player getting traded from place to place. From an outsider's perspective, like, you know, for people who are getting excited, like Cavs fans are getting excited about the trade, what would you say to people when you hear about his history? Like not really inability to work with people,
Every
but like
1 to 2 years.
Yeah, every 1 to 2 years.
Requesting a trade off the
Yeah.
team he's on.
I mean, I just want to think like as if I was a team player or like a player on that team, I would not be excited because like what's up with this guy? Like you would not want someone that's bad with people who is going to move on every few years to be on a team. If you're on a team, you're going to want to be there for the long term.
Absolutely.
So like he comes in and it's just going to be like, all right, here's a few years. They're not going to have confidence.
When he was on the Nets, their big three was him, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. All of them pretty close to being in their prime. Maybe you could argue just a little bit out of their prime.
Yeah. But
still, when all 3 of them were on the court, they might have lost 2 games.
Yeah.
In the like 20 games they played together when all 3 of them played at the same time.
Yeah.
But injuries one of the 3 of them would just get injured time and time, and they ended up losing in the conference championship.
I think so, yeah.
That's when the Bucks won.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost.
Oh, his foot was on the line.
They lost to the Bucks in the East Conference, because Kevin Durant's foot
was on the line
for the game winner.
Yeah. Man, I remember watching that live. As soon as he hit that, because as a Sixers fan, I was kind of rooting against the Nets. And when I saw him hit that, I'm like, oh, it's over. And then the replay showed it, and I'm like, thank God Kevin Durant wears like size 30 shoes.
But I mean, that's by far the best team he's had.
Yes.
When you're talking about superstar levels, and he couldn't win, and he still didn't stick with them. That's when it has to show you, and I love it. That's my favorite player ever.
Yes.
But he has commitment issues with teams. Even with the Clippers, they were the worst team in the NBA. Besides, he was the only reason they didn't have the worst record in the NBA at the start of the year. And then they clawed their way back. They're like even now, I think.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, no, I want to trade.
And not only that, like speaking as a Sixers fan, I remember when we were at Game 6 in Round 2 against the Celtics, and we had the lead in the 4th quarter. And I remember then the Celtics clawed back. They went up by 4. And Harden, like when we had to go back on defense, we had to get the ball back. Harden's just walking back. And then let's not forget also Game 6 when he was on the Rockets against the Warriors. He was clashing with the Warriors every single playoffs, and he always seemed to get this close to reaching the finals and getting a ring, which is so important in the NBA. And he just never could.
He never could.
But now you got that man over there, Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, my thumb pointed the right way. There you go. Donovan Mitchell. And the Cavs have this great talent that they've grown, and they've gotten a bunch of stars in, and who knows, maybe this is the year.
Assuming they don't make another move at the deadline, which they could. They've been in the talks for Giannis, which that'll throw a lot of more assets out there. But, I mean, looking at the starting lineup they have right now, where you're going to have Harden, Donovan Mitchell, I forget who the 3 is, but he's good. Evan Mobley at your 4, and Jared Allen at your 5.
Yep.
You got 4 pretty much all-star level players that can go out and hoop every single night and give you points on a nightly basis.
Yep. And I think it's very important in the NBA nowadays to have a good 4 and 5.
Yes.
I mean, if you have a good 4 and 5 who can lock down anybody, because there's so many great centers in the NBA. Embiid, Jokic, Vucevic, Karl Anthony Towns. Yep. If you have a guy who's that good defensively, you have a pretty good shot at winning this. All right, but now let's go over to your little sport here, NASCAR.
NASCAR.
The NASCAR. What was the results of the last race? You were texting us all last night. You said there were a lot of caution flags being thrown out.
Oh yeah. So the Clash was yesterday, which is the exhibition race for NASCAR to open up the season. The last few years, it's been moving around. For its history, it's been at Daytona.
Okay.
Then the final year at Daytona, they went to the road course inside of the oval. Then from 2022 until 2024, they put in a temporary racetrack inside of the LA Coliseum. The last few years, they've been returning to their roots to Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Tongue twister. But yeah, so yesterday was the Clash. Josh Berry right here, and there as well. He raced in through the LCQ, he won that, and Austin Cindric finished second. Alex Bowman also got the points transfer. 20 other cars already qualified in. Ryan Preece, he has never won a points race in the Cup Series before. He won the Clash yesterday. Only the 3rd ever driver to do it. One, Jeff Gordon, and the other, Denny Hamlin. Both like some of the best ever. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows Jeff Gordon and Denny Hamlin. He's the best driver that has never won a championship. And he's just Ryan Preece. He's a short track racer. That's why he did so good. But so many cautions, most ever for the Clash in history. And it was the longest Clash by hours.
Really?
Yeah, I forget the exact numbers, but it was at least an hour longer, I believe. And long race, most cautions, and they were racing on wet weather tires. It was sleeting at one point. It was supposed to be ran on Sunday, but due to the snowstorm, they pushed it to Monday, but then they pushed it to Wednesday. So, yeah, which this isn't the first time they've had to do that. In fact, the year before last, the last year of the LA Coliseum race, there was a big monsoon, like for a week, that was going to come in. So they pushed on-track activity from Sunday to Saturday night. Everything on Saturday, like a day before. It was like unprecedented stuff, but it was, yeah. But Ryan Preece, he got emotional, and the post-race interview was quite funny because like before he got like onto a microphone, throwing F-bombs, you know, like celebrating. And my dad's like, when he gets the microphone, he's going to do it some more. I'm like, yeah.
He did.
See, NASCAR is one of those sports. It's kind of like the UFC, where they just kind of let you guys say whatever.
No. They've gotten a little bit more lenient. But back in the day,
I've heard the radio calls.
Well, sometimes like Junior, Dale Earnhardt Jr., he got penalized for saying some stuff, some like somewhat light stuff.
Right.
And they've gotten a little bit looser, but still, like, F-bombs are a no-no.
and I guess it is different because, you know, they're just racing each other. In the UFC, when you're talking crap, you get to hit the other guy. You're going hand to hand with the other guy.
Oh man, in NASCAR, whenever there's like a fight afterwards, those interviews are hilarious. One of my favorites is Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano, and afterwards, after the fight, Denny Hamlin was mocking Joey Logano, saying things he would think he would say in his voice. It's so funny. But yeah, NASCAR.
Nice. Okay, so speaking of the UFC, I just got this on my phone actually, just recently. Ilia Topuria, I believe, is he the former UFC lightweight champion, or is he the? No.
Ilia handed it over.
Oh, that's right.
Because he's going through that divorce.
Yeah, and
yes.
It just ended. They just settled, which means he's probably going to return and screw up the lightweight division.
Yeah.
There's nothing scarier than a man with a broken heart. And so, Connor, I just want to ask you, if you're a UFC fighter, right?
Yeah.
You're the lightweight, you're like, okay, there's a lot of guys that got to get through this division, like Gagey and Patty Pimblett and Michael Chandler and like all these, like, the lightweight division is the most entertaining division to watch in the UFC by far. And now you learn that the guy who was a former featherweight champion just went through a messy divorce, is probably charged up emotionally.
Was running through people.
Yes, he knocked out Max Holloway, who in his entire UFC career before that, never been even knocked down. Never even been knocked down. So when you hear that, what do you think is going through the UFC lightweight division's mind?
Do we have to see this guy?
Yes. Yes.
It's kind of like what we were saying before, like if we say anything about our mothers.
Like,
I feel like that same attitude is going to be there.
Yes.
that's how I feel like how they felt when they heard John Jones is coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
scared.
Yep, absolutely. And like, I've been a UFC fan for a few years now. I started watching around the pandemic. I mean, I was instantly hooked on this division because of Gagey, Tony Ferguson, Habib, McGregor before he went,
fights.
Before he started snorting coke. But man, I mean, even that last lightweight interim title fight.
Yes.
A banger, Gagey versus
Patty.
Pimblett. I mean, Gagey is called the highlight for a reason because every single one of his fights have had some sort of bonus attached to him. He is just so unbelievable to watch. And I cannot wait to see Gagey versus Topuria.
It's going to be a good fight. Although Ilia is going to be coming back in there. He wants that title back. You know that. That's all he has to live for now at this point.
This is it. So speaking of February, speaking of the UFC, in the month of February, let's get on to our This Month in Sports segment.
Yeah. Yes.
One of my all-time favorite fights was UFC 284, Alexander Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev in Perth. I don't remember exactly what date it was in February. I think it was around the February 9th, maybe, a few years ago. It was the first time ever a UFC pound-for-pound #1 faced the UFC pound-for-pound #2. So the two best in the world, and the build-up for it was great. And now here's the thing is, it was the lightweight champion versus the featherweight champion. Now, in recent years, like, these super fights, as they call them, never really, like,
pan out.
yeah, they never really were that good. It was usually like, one guy dominated the other, or it was an early finish, or maybe even a stinker. This one was the crowd, first of all, Australia, because the event before.
The Aussies, I love the Aussies.
Oh, I love the Aussies. They love their guys. I will say this, Aussies have to be the best crowd, even better than any of those European crowds, like, because they love their guys so much, and they're so respectful. And speaking of respect, at UFC 283, like, it was in Brazil. I mean, Brazilians, after the flyweight title fight between, what's his name? Oh my God. He's Mexican, he's small. Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueiredo. After the fight, Brandon Moreno won. Davison Figueiredo was Brazilian. They were throwing beer and like a bunch of stuff on Brandon Moreno. Even though he won cleanly, he hit him in the eye and like broke it. Ooh. And then the next fight, Glover Teixeira, again Brazilian, Jamal Hill beat him in one of the greatest performances of all time. They left in the 4th round. The fans left in the 4th round, and Glover Teixeira, a legend, had to retire to an empty arena. Literally walking out on him. Just walked out on him, completely disrespectful. And to punish them, Dana White said, you know what, you're going to get a pay-per-view next year. We're not going to give you anything. So we were all kind of disappointed in that crowd. And the Aussie crowd showed up. They were respectful to everybody. They were just there to watch a good fight and see their guys.
They love their guys, and they love violence in Australia.
They do love violence. And this fight was violence, man. I mean, Alexander Volkanovski was the underdog, even though he was the pound-for-pound #1, right? The first round, like, it was like, they're kind of testing each other out. Volkanovski lands this kick that kind of makes him go, that kind of makes, like, Islam Makhachev go like this. And the crowd just exploded because it was like, oh, our guys got you. And then in that same round, Makhachev takes his back and tries to put him in a rear naked choke. And this is what Volkanovski does. He looks at the camera and goes, and then he's talking crap to him as he's trying to punch him as he's on his back. Man. The next few rounds were like Makhachev kind of wobbled him at times. Yeah. But in the 5th round, Volkanovski took over. He not only did he defend Islam Makhachev's takedown, which, by the way, Islam Makhachev, you know who his training partner is? Habib Nurmagomedov.
The greatest wrestler to ever touch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and not only that, he's from Dagestan. So disciplined, unreal discipline. And Volkanovski in the 5th round, Makhachev was gassed. There's actually a funny image of Makhachev on his back on the ground, looking up like, like this, because he has never been in that situation before. And Volkanovski landed a punch, knocked him down. I personally thought Volkanovski won the fight. However, when it went to the judges, Islam won by unanimous decision, which,
A little crazy.
yeah, I know. It wasn't a robbery. A robbery to me is like one guy cleanly wins it, right? Like one guy's like, there was a clear winner and they just completely disregarded it. But this fight was really close, like really close. And easily the greatest super fight of all time, one of my favorite fights of all time. When Volkanovski knocked down Makhachev, I remember just standing up and just yelling, "Get him, pound him, pound him, pound him." And my dad goes, "Shh," as he's sleeping on the couch next to me, by the way, just sleeping there. As a incredible fights, he always does that. He always falls asleep on the couch, and my dad is just there. And speaking of my dad sleeping on the couch, this is a pretty funny story. Again, in the UFC, right? UFC 300, Gaethje versus Holloway.
Yeah.
Big fan of Justin Gaethje. He walks up after the 4th round, and he's like, "This fight's boring," which, how is it boring? Like, that was already an incredible fight. And in the final 10 seconds, Holloway does his points at the ground, which means let's go, and no defense. They just start swinging.
They both just stand in front of each other and just start wailing.
And then with 1 second left, Holloway lands a right, knocks Gaethje out clean with 1 second left. The most I'm him moment in UFC history, to be like, "Hey, let's go," and then knocks him out. And I'm texting my dad like, "Oh my God, Holloway just knocked him out. How crazy." And he goes, "Wow, cool." Like, "Thanks, Dad, thanks."
I love Max Holloway.
Yeah, he's easily my favorite fighter of all time. But yeah, that fight, UFC 284, one of my favorites of all time. Any of you guys got anything that happened in February that you remember?
Well, back in history, yeah, I kind of want to talk about something significant that's happening, or like an anniversary this year. The 25th anniversary of Dale Earnhardt dying is this February. And just like the safety improvements that have happened, I kind of want to just talk about that, because in NASCAR, there has not been a death in the top 3 national series since he died, which is really incredible. Yeah. Safer barriers have become a mainstay, which it's basically foam walls on this outside of the tracks. And then the Hans device to keep the neck in lock, because I think that could have been part of the injury.
Yeah.
Now, his son also had some injuries, Dale Earnhardt Jr., with concussions, and that kind of got him out of racing slowly. And after that, concussion protocol has been significant, but 25 years now, and his impact on the sport is still everlasting. So I feel like that's something very important for us to mention.
Definitely.
I think, I mean, like, it's unfortunate because when something like that happens, like, everything gets better. So it's not like it was necessary, but it was eventually something like that could have happened to someone else.
What could have happened if that didn't happen?
Yeah, exactly. Like, we could be talking right now about, like, you could have said, like, oh, there's been 3 NASCAR deaths.
And the thing is, too, yesterday's Clash winner, Ryan Preece, just a few years ago on the backstretch of Daytona, he barreled one of the worst wrecks ever, and like top over end over tail, awful wreck, and he raced the next week. Yeah. Wow. And he was fine. He just got bloodshot eyes. But the winner yesterday, like, if that didn't happen, if those safety protocols didn't happen from Dale Earnhardt, who knows if Ryan Preece walked away from that.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know, because like we could be talking about so many instances, like 2020 in the Daytona 500, Ryan Newman, awful wreck. And then I don't know which year, but
I think
another
I know what wreck
year.
you're talking about, by the way, the 2021. Wasn't that the one where he like went up and like almost over?
Yeah. So what happened was I forget which car was which. I think Denny Hamlin was pushing him to the finish line. Ryan Blaney was coming on the bottom. Newman went to block, got loose, and just went straight to the wall. Another car hit him, and he was barrel rolling, got into the fence. But there was a worse one a few years later in the 3-car, Austin Dillon, and his front end and rear end ripped out from the fence.
Really?
Horrifying wreck. And I think it was 2016 or something, but it was like one of the first years the 3 was back. And it was awful. He walked away from it.
Really?
That's good. Yeah. That's good. They walked away.
But safety.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking, like, every single episode, we're going to be talking about things that happened that month. You know, sometimes it's going to be inspirational, but also it's important to look back at, like, how much sports have gone through.
Definitely, yeah.
I remember, like, watching the movie Rush about Niki Lauda and James Hunt, which are 2 legendary F1 racers. And the Niki Lauda crash, I remember watching the real footage of the aftermath. Like, it's scary because those F1 cars, they fly.
Yeah.
They
They're
fly.
going
Yeah,
fast.
and they were on rain. This is the thing. He was on a rain track in the Nürburgring, which is they named I think they named it like the Green Death or something like that because it was such a dangerous track. He hit someone, and then car was busted. Got hit by someone else. Burns. He got third-degree burns all over his body. Amazingly, he raced a month
That's crazy.
later and placed fourth.
Insane.
Like absolutely crazy. And the thing is, after that, like, they started looking at, because they looked at, okay, so we're not going to hold these events when it's weather like that.
You can't.
Yeah,
It's
especially
too
that.
dangerous.
Like,
Right.
and then they said, like, okay, we're going to need to change the tires. We need to change a lot of things about this so stuff like that doesn't happen. Because Niki Lauda was great.
And talking about F1, there's a few safety things that have happened in kind of, I would like to call it sister series here, America IndyCar and at F1. They added the Halo in F1 and like an aero screen in IndyCar because they were open cockpit.
Oh, yeah.
So, and watching back some of the races in IndyCar especially, the tires so many times have hit that windscreen. And if that wasn't there, the driver probably would have died because if a tire gets in that cockpit, their helmet destroyed. But also, what you're talking about with F1, it makes me think a few years ago, I think it's Romain Grosjean or something like that. He got in a wreck in F1 and he like got in between two barriers, got in fireball. And he walked away so much, like he had to heal for so long, and now he's racing full time in an IndyCar, I think.
That's crazy. Man, I mean,
It goes to show you like how much the progress and everything that has happened still is very likely of happening.
yes, absolutely. And on that depressing note, Bobby, what is your thing?
So February, as everyone knows, is Super Bowl season. So I decided to talk about one of my favorite Super Bowls ever, the 28-3 Falcons versus Patriots.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said 28. I was like, who played in 28?
The 28-3 Super Bowl, 2016, 2017?
Yeah,
Yes.
2016.
Where the Falcons were up 28-3 against the Patriots at halftime. And everyone's thinking Patriots are done. This is it. They're finally gonna, because I think they were on a pretty good stretch. Was that when they were almost three-peating?
No, but they had been to the Super Bowl for like years before that. Yeah.
The Patriots were always they were on a tear for 20 years. But the Falcons were killing them halftime, and then all of a sudden they come out of half, and the Patriots just look like a different team.
Yeah.
That you have the infamous Edelman catch, which is one of the craziest
I remember
catches.
watching it live.
You've seen in your lifetime.
Unreal.
Where the ball is about here, from like that's the ground. This is the ball, and he's here, and that's a catch there. And then the Julio Jones catch in the same game, two of the greatest catches we've ever seen in playoff history.
But then he caught it in field goal range, and then they moved him back. And by the way, it wasn't halftime either. This is more insane. It was in the third quarter. Late in the third quarter, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Patriots came back.
The switch just flipped, and
Yeah.
they just turned into a whole different team. And the Patriots win. As much as I hate Tom Brady, that is one of the greatest Super Bowls that I have watched.
That's really called earning it.
That Super Bowl and the Seahawks versus Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
The Marshawn Lynch one.
Yes.
Where Malcolm Butler had the interception on the goal line.
Oh my God, yeah. And that's kind of ironic you're talking about
I figured we were getting
Seahawks and Patriots, right? The Seahawks and Patriots. This year's Super Bowl is none other than the most bizarre quarterback matchup of all time. On the one hand, you have the Seattle Seahawks, led by Sam Darnold. On the other hand, the New England Patriots, unfortunately, led by Drake May, which that is his nickname. That is his nickname. And me personally, as an Eagles fan, I've been a little spoiled the last few years with, a couple of Super Bowl appearances by our glorious leader, Jalen Hurts. All praise Jalen Hurts. But I am so shocked the Seahawks did as good as they did this season. Because, when we thought they got rid of Geno Lewis and brought in Sam Darnold, they're like, okay, so this is going to be a rebuilding year. Nope. Not only are they going to have Sam Darnold, who all of a sudden these last 2 years he's been like MVP caliber. Not only are we going to have him, we're going to have arguably the best receiver in the NFL in Jackson Smith-Njigba. We're going to have this defense, which is, I want to say, a little bit close to the Legion of Boom in terms of statistics, not like aura-wise, but statistics-wise, they've held some pretty good teams to some very low scores. On the other hand, you have the Patriots who, while riding off an easy schedule, in my opinion, have been just
the number one ranked defense in the NFL.
Yep.
Their average yards per game the defense is allowed is 207. That is insane. Like,
That's
it's like,
crazy.
and we're talking about how good the Seahawks defense is. Now, keep in mind, they played some better teams than the Patriots did.
Yeah.
But the Seahawks total yards, their defense is averaging about 350.
Yes.
There's a 150-yard difference.
And I mean, who would have thought? Drake May versus Sam Darnold.
Darnold.
Imagine going back in time, right?
Second-year Drake May.
Yes, second-year Drake May.
Against Sam Darnold, who was a proclaimed bust.
Yes.
For 3 years. He got drafted 10th overall and kind of sucked. Then was a backup for about 3 years.
4 years.
For some bad teams.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden had a career resurgence. He had a game or two in San Fran.
Yeah.
That's what got him signed to Minnesota.
Yep.
And then
J.J. McCarthy got hurt, and that boosted him into the starting spot.
He got put into Minnesota and led them to 14-3?
14-2, I think.
14-2.
No, 14-3, yeah.
Yeah, 17 games.
Yeah.
14-3. Now, he did suck in the playoffs.
Yes.
Last year, he was horrible in the playoffs. So everyone was thinking he sucked in the playoffs last year. He's going to suck again this year.
Right.
He shut everyone up.
Yes.
He went and played the last game against the Rams was some good
Oh, my God,
football.
yeah. Every game for the Seahawks and Rams this year have been like, you know that meme of like the Linkin Park song where it shows like all this bunch of manly things? That's what it honestly felt like watching those games, because every single one of them is down to the wire, like just straight down to it. And as you said, he's had a resurgence after being a bust. It seems like this year, and in recent years too, like a lot of these quarterbacks who were proclaimed as these busts ended up being some of the best quarterbacks in the
Turning out
league.
to be really good.
Yeah.
Look at Baker.
I was going to say Baker Mayfield. He went on the Sam Darnold road too, because he went to the Carolina Panthers. He was like, he led the Browns to a playoff victory, and they immediately released him. And then he went to the LA Rams, had an amazing game-winning drive. So then the Bucs picked him up, and he's been an MVP candidate.
And this year, when Jordan Love was hurt, Malik Willis stepped in, and Malik Willis played some really good football. I don't think
Yes.
it was like 9 touchdowns to 0 turnovers, and 1,000-something yards in the 4 games he played.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. 1,000 yards in 4 games for passing.
He's going to be a hot commodity in free agency.
Oh,
He'll
absolutely.
Probably end up going to one of these teams like the Steelers or someone that needs a quarterback and is in kind of like a win now or rebuild situation.
Right.
And they're going to sign him for a year and just say, hey, go out there and play. If we're good, we keep you. If you're not, we move on.
Yep. Unless
But
Bryce
it's
Young.
it's worked so well with these quarterbacks that have been thought to be bad.
Yeah.
Even Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
Liam Cohen went down in Jacksonville and turned Trevor Lawrence's
Yes, he
career
did.
around.
And Bryce Young.
I want to bring up something because the division championships, because like the Broncos, I know a little bit like the story that could have been there if you want to talk about that.
Oh, yes, the Bo Nix. So, for those of you who don't know, the Broncos, I remember watching this game. I was at my girlfriend's house, right? And it was on the TV. And, like, you know, they just picked them off. They're in field goal range. Bo Nix takes a knee. And as soon as he takes a knee, I see him walking like this. And I'm like, he has this, like, facial expression of, like, oh, no. And I'm like, maybe he's just really, really nervous. But then my girlfriend actually said something in the post-game interview. Did she? No, it was my one friend. It was my other friend, not you guys. It was my one NFL friend. But he said something like, "Did you see his interview?" I'm like, "No, I turned it off. Why?" And he goes, "He looked like a little distraught." And then I watched it on YouTube, and I'm like, "Oh, so yeah, they did. Like maybe he's just really nervous or something." And then right as I put my phone down, ESPN alert: Bo Nix broke his ankle and is out for the season. And just like, I could not imagine. Because think about this, the ecstasy that Broncos fans are feeling like, oh my God, we're going to the AFC Championship. We're going to go back to the days of John Elway and Peyton Manning. Oh my God. And then that notification hits you and just...
Think about with the Colts, Daniel Jones.
Oh my God, yeah.
Daniel Jones, another one of these quarterbacks come out to be, they're thinking career bust, bad. Goes, signs with the Colts, beats out
Anthony Richardson.
But beat him out anyways, and was 8-2.
Yeah, 8-2.
8-2 with the Colts. Then he ended up tearing his Achilles, ACL.
Yeah, I think it's Achilles.
Out for the season. And then the Colts had to resort to a 44-year-old
Phillip Rivers, who has not played since 2020, by the way.
He was eligible for the Hall of Fame this year,
Yes.
which means you have to have a 4 or 5 year gap
Yes.
between playing time to be eligible.
Dang.
And he decided he was going to come. They decided to signing Phillip Rivers, and he was going to try and lead them to the playoffs.
Yep.
And they ended up missing it. Wow.
And speaking of eligible for the Hall of Fame, this just reminded me, we probably need to talk about this. Hall of Fame voters, what is wrong with you? Like, genuinely, because Bill Belichick, 8 Super Bowls, 6 as a head coach, second all-time in wins, easily, in my opinion, as much as I hate him, as much as he may have cheated, the greatest coach of all time.
One of the,
Cannot.
the great, top 2.
Cannot argue with that. He did not get in the Hall of Fame this year. First ballot he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
If there is
That's
anyone,
crazy.
if there is anyone that is a first ballot any coach that is a first ballot Hall of Famer, it's Belichick.
Yep. And the thing is, with every year, there's always like every year has a Hall of Fame thing.
Snub.
Yeah, and like every year, there's like it's like a little bit iffy with sometimes. Like sometimes you get a guy where like, okay, he's definitely going in, and like Bill Belichick was that one. I feel like when you look at the ballot, you're like, okay, this guy, like absolutely.
There's always people that you look and you're like, okay, that is a first ballot Hall of Famer, can't miss. Like this year, Larry Fitzgerald, right there, and Drew Brees were both eligible for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Everyone can consensually say those two are
absolutely,
first ballot
yes.
Hall of Famers. They are getting in.
Yes.
Bill Belichick is that same exact way. You could look at Bill Belichick and his resume saying that is one of the greatest, if not the greatest coach of all time. That is
Yes.
a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes. And so, like, has that ever happened to, like, NASCAR or anything? Where, like, there's, like, a for sure guy who was supposed to be in, like, a Hall of Fame or something like that, and he wasn't suggested? Like, even, like, a horrible, like, top 10 list, which happens so often in sports.
Yeah,
Some
with,
takes.
Yes.
with NASCAR, I mean, I remember what happened. So, Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus, they were a duo, won 7 championships together. Like,
Of course, I remember the days of Jimmy Johnson.
The best duo ever in NASCAR. They were not like a shoe-in. Like, there were a few people that voted otherwise for,
What?
I think, Knaus. They got in together, first ballot.
I'm sorry, but Jimmy Johnson is, like, one of the most recognizable names
Yeah.
in NASCAR. Like, I don't watch a lot of NASCAR, but I know Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Enough of rambling around, guys. It's time to get serious. It's time to see if we got balls. As always, I'm gonna try to theme mine, and then I'm gonna completely forget that I did theme mine within the next episode. So my got balls thing takes us back to Super Bowl. Was it 53? How am I an Eagles fan and I forgot what Super Bowl we won against the Patriots? Nick Foles took over for an injured Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate. And 4th and goal in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady. Nonetheless, it's 15-12. They send their offense back out. Nick Foles lines up in shotgun. And he goes to the offensive line and he's calling what seems like a blocking scheme. Ball gets snapped back to the running back who goes off to the left. Pitches it back to the tight end who runs right. Meanwhile, all this, Nick Foles just ran a short little flat route. No one covered him. They ran a trick play on 4th and goal in the Super Bowl against Bill Belichick. And Nick Foles, when he caught that ball, the spirit of Philadelphia, grease the poles, baby, grease the poles. Nick Foles caught a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. He threw 3 more after that and an interception, but we don't talk about that. We just talk about the fact that we beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Can't get bigger balls than that one. No. What about you, Connor? What you got? You got balls?
Got lug nuts.
He got lug nuts.
NASCAR.
He's got lug nuts.
Yeah.
He's got some big lug nuts.
But so yesterday was the clash, and this is recorded. We should talk about this. We are recording this before the Super Bowl, the day after the clash. So that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
And yesterday, with the wet weather, there was a car that got into the wall, and they were talking about how it was almost like a hail melon. And it made me back to the original Hail Melon by Ross Chastain in Martinsville 2022, when final lap, I'm sure you've seen the video, he has to gain a few positions to make the championship race in the playoffs. And at Martinsville short track, you have to brake really hard. Nope. He goes against the wall, full throttle, rides around the outside
Oh,
wall.
yeah, I remember seeing
Yeah.
that clip. Didn't he say something like, I'm just putting pedal to the metal and I'm not lifting
Yeah.
unless I see God or checker flag?
That's another driver that said that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they just paired it with that. But the clip is perfect for that.
That is.
Yeah, but just watching all the perspectives, hearing the spires be like, what did I just see? And I remember watching it live, but oh my gosh. Just to, like, the G-forces he experienced.
Oh my God, I
and
couldn't
if
imagine.
one car was in the way, that would have been a record lap around that place.
Really?
Yeah, but there was a car there that he kind of bumped, Brett Keselowski,
Oh.
and that was like the 10th he needed.
Man, that's
Yeah.
talk about got lug nuts.
Yeah,
And now,
you got a lot of lug nuts.
and now, Bobby, I have a question for you. Do you have balls?
Yes, I do. And now I was gonna do football, but I pivoted to basketball because a memory just clicked in my head. It is Game 7. It is the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Damian Lillard is coming down the court with about 5 seconds left, and he's just dribbling. They're down. They're losing to the Thunder. And Damian Lillard does a step-back three on the logo and hits it to win the game.
Yep.
And he got the nickname Logo Lillard.
Logo Lillard, and then, of course, we can't forget about
The bye-bye. He waved,
bye-bye.
He waved them off.
Bye-bye.
It was one of the coldest moments you'll ever see
Yep.
in the history of sports.
Man, I wish we had that Damian Lillard
Yes.
back. He was so fun to watch. But now, of course, some people got balls, other people don't. They just got pockets, and all pockets, no brains. And of course, if the Super Bowl is this weekend, we can't forget about probably the biggest coaching blunder in history. It is now the Seahawks were losing to the Patriots 28-24. And with about 30 seconds left, Russell Wilson throws this ball, which could have been its own got balls, down to Golden Tate, who bobbles it up. He's on the ground and he catches it. Oh my God, they got it first and goal at the 2-yard line with none other than beast mode himself, Marshawn Lynch, the man who will pound a whole bag of Skittles, go out there and then truck your favorite linebacker. I'm not kidding.
Taking a shot of Hennessy.
Exactly. After taking a shot of Hennessy and pounding Skittles, somehow he's able to do what he did. And so from the 2-yard line, you have easily one of the best running backs of all time. I mean, especially in the playoffs, nonetheless. Marshawn turned it on in the playoffs. From the 2-yard line, the ball gets snapped to Russell Wilson, who drops back, goes for a slant route, and Malcolm Butler for the Patriots steps in the way and intercepts it. And of course, immediately, the meme faces, the Richard Sherman, the just watching, it just watched like, you just see a soul leave a man's body. Pete Carroll, of course, chewing on his gum like he always did. And immediately, Chris Collinsworth? Yeah, something like that. I forget his name. He says, I don't understand. You have Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. You can take out the entire offensive line, and I'm still giving it to Marshawn Lynch. Easily the biggest coaching blunder, something that has haunted the Seahawks. They have a chance to redeem themselves. But with this Super Bowl matchup, all our minds immediately go back to that moment. And of course, Connor, I'm sure that there have been some big NASCAR blunders or even other blunders that you may think of in other sports.
Honestly, I'm not even going to talk about blunders. I'm just going to talk about people who have money. Because in NASCAR, sponsors are sometimes bigger than skill.
Oh, so this is like a sponsorship blunder?
Not even that. It's going to just talk about a certain driver. Which honestly, it's kind of heartbreaking to me. It's about Riley Herbst.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back a little bit. Last year was his rookie year in the Cup Series. He drives to 35 for a team owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin.
Oh.
2311 Racing. Big team. Even in fact, in 2024, they were in the championship Final Four. Last year was a little bit of a slump year.
Mm-hmm.
They did win a race with Bubba Wallace, in fact, a Crown Jewel, the Brickyard 400.
Mm-hmm.
Big race. But Riley Herbst was like so low in the points, like I think 30s, which there's only like 36 positions. Awful. Near the bottom of the points, but it's heartbreaking because he's been trying to do good.
Yeah.
And he did pretty good in 2024 in the Xfinity Series, now the O'Reilly Series, Grand National Series, some even call it. And he did good. He won some races finally. But last year, so bad, while his other teammates were top 20 in points and made the playoffs, at least one of them. I don't remember if Tyler Reddick did. But so bad. It was the first year that 2311 had a third car that so many reporters, like current day podcasters for NASCAR, forget that he exists. They always say the two 2311 cars.
Oh my God.
Above all, Tyler Reddick.
Oh.
He has money with sponsorship. With
Right.
Monster. You know, sponsors him, so he has the money.
Mm-hmm.
And Denny Hamlin yesterday was defending him.
Right.
He was like, "There's a reason why we hired him for a multi-year contract. He does not make the top 20 for the race."
Oh no!
It's even worse because he wrecked in the last chance qualifier. Yeah.
There's a reason why we hired this guy. He could take us over the top.
Exactly. So.
And now, Bobby, you earlier said you had difficulty coming up, but then you said you got something, and I remember this clip.
Yes. So I don't remember who the Warriors were facing, but I remember Steph Curry on a breakaway steal. He was coming down, and Curry never dunks. Steph Curry never dunks. So he was getting ready to go up and try and dunk the ball. And he went to go dunk, and he slipped and fell right on his back. Now, he got back up quick and got the ball and ran. So Curry's known for shooting threes.
Greatest three-point shooter of all time.
Ever. So he runs out to the corner and shoots a three, airballs it. This is right after the other. A 3-second gap. And Curry, a Hall of Famer, one of the best NBA players ever, got a whole lot of money. But my God.
That's like that one scene from Paul Blart where he's just about to cross the finish line and then just passes out. Right.
Or like from Grown Ups where they're running away from the arrow and one of them trips over the log and just face plants.
In the dog poop. Yes. Okay. So now that we got our laughs and giggles out, it's time to get serious. It's time to get some predictions in. And we got our NASCAR bingo cards.
Yes.
NASCAR bingo cards.
Which throughout the season, we will, every podcast episode, kind of tally up the points.
Yes.
So how this works is 36 drivers for 36 races. Pick one each. And whatever points you get from that race, it's put to your total.
Nice.
And I'm going to look at them because you guys are kind of guessing, and I'll analyze if there's some good picks and some bad picks.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I want your phones. Let's see. All right, I'm going to go over this is Luke's phone.
Yes,
I'm
that's
which one
mine.
is it? All right, I'm going to look at this, and it'll be on screen. Probably the wide screen blocking those two. I want to start with your Daytona 500 pick. Chase Elliott. He has not won the Daytona 500, but his teammate has won the last two. So that's a pretty decent pick.
Yep.
But then following up, you have Shane Van Gisbergen, road course ace, winning his first oval race at the Atlanta, which kind of works. He did pretty good yesterday. He kind of was in contention.
Right.
Let's see what else you got here. You have Denny Hamlin winning the second Daytona race, which that's a pretty good pick as well.
Yeah.
He's won a few Daytona 500s, so that's a really good pick. And then actually going to another super speedway of Talladega, you have Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
I only picked that. I'm not gonna lie. I completely randomized it, by the way. Just gonna say I
Yeah.
completely randomized it and just hope. But I did see
yeah.
one guy named Ricky, and I said Ricky in Talladega.
Yeah.
Ricky. That just makes sense.
He's
That just makes
accidentally a genius. But he won Talladega last year, I think.
Of course he did. His
he's
name is
good.
Ricky. What else would he do?
Yeah. Let me see what else you have here that could be good. Alex Bowman, Las Vegas. He's won there. Josh Berry, Kansas. He's decent there. Let me see what else. Let me see if there's anything stupid. Oh, yeah. Riley Herbst winning Las Vegas. That's his home track, so that's probably his most likely race to win. Yes. Anyone who knows NASCAR will know how wonderful Cody Ware is. He's not winning Sonoma, which is one of the most skilled road courses.
You say that now, but wait until I just shut you up.
Yeah.
Shred the bingo board. Okay.
And you need to open your phone.
This is very professional.
You have Connor Zilich at Nashville, which with the bingo card, you don't have to win, but win is best points. But pretty good.
Silly Zilly.
Yeah. And I will say, I do have Alex Bowman and Josh Berry. I like them both. So if I point them out, that's why. You have Alex Bowman winning Homestead, where he almost won it this year.
Okay.
Really good pick. And also Josh Berry winning Las Vegas, too. He just won it this year. That's his race-winning car. Perfect picks. You have Connor Zilich winning the Daytona 500. Honestly, me too. Not actually, but...
The randomizer's doing me great.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And then next race, you have William Byron doing good at Atlanta, which he's won there. Let's see what else you have. Let's see. You have Michael McDowell, which is a road course ace, winning at a road course of Sonoma. That's pretty good. Let's see what else you have.
Yes. The random boys.
Yeah.
The random boys.
You have Denny Hamlin doing good at Kansas, too, which he's won there in recent years.
That just kind of makes sense, too, Danny Hamlin in Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and his team 2011 have been doing fantastic there. And let's see what else. If there's anything weird, I will say, this is an interesting one to watch. Talladega 2, Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is not good historically at super speedways. But he's been getting better, especially at Talladega. So that will be something to watch.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Clash winner, Ryan Preece, another short track. In fact, the shortest points-paying race, you have him winning Martinsville. So that's possible. That's really solid. Random guess.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
clicked random 3 times. And it worked.
And you have Chase Briscoe winning Pocono, which he's been doing pretty good. Actually, he won last year there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was his first win.
Bobby is an accidental
locked in.
NASCAR genius. Oh, we should just cut out us saying it's random and just like dub us over saying
He's a
like
genius.
chosen so
He's a
carefully.
Yeah. All right. And now let me go for mine because I picked mine.
Yes.
So I just want to point out some specific ones and kind of talk about my reasoning. We have Chris Buescher, whatever you want to call him, winning Daytona. He's won Daytona, so the 500 there. And then also Alex Bowman Pocono, he's won there. I want to talk about some of them for the bad drivers, why I picked them at certain tracks. We've got Austin Dillon at Richmond. He's not the best. In fact, one day he'll probably be on All Pockets, No Brains. But he's won at Richmond.
Right.
One of those moments that will be brought up is at Richmond winning the race. Yeah. We also have Bubba Wallace at Kansas. He's won there recently. I want to point out an interesting schedule change this year. Chicagoland's back, which they haven't been there. They've been on the road course in Chicago.
Okay.
So they're back to the oval in Chicagoland. And I have Kyle Larson there. It's a track they ride the fence. He's really good at doing that. And yeah.
All right. All right.
Wait. Oh, that was a cut. I'm so sorry, Gavin. But Indianapolis, Brad Keselowski, he almost won it this year. His team has been kind of on a slump this year, but with Ryan Preece just now winning the Clash, I think they're going to have a really good year this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they could do.
All right.
Else.
All right. All right. So the two random boys versus the
Yeah.
actual expert. This will be so much better.
Well, I
in
think
March.
Bobby is going to beat me. Honestly.
I was gonna say when you were saying all this, I'm like, oh no, the random betrayed me.
No, I think honestly.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I know NASCAR.
You heard it here first, folks. I know NASCAR,
I don't know NASCAR.
as he's got the only NASCAR stuff
Yeah.
on his side. So, now that we're through those predictions, it's time to get to the big game. You can't actually say Super Bowl, actually, because then the NFL will come in the middle of the night and steal your
That
family.
means Gavin has to cut that.
Yeah, that means
The poor
Gavin.
play-
You have
Gavin.
to bleep that. You have to bleep
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
the
yeah.
S word.
The Olenchak
The
family,
S-word.
the Olenchak, Dempkosky, and Connor's family their lives are in your hands. Just letting you know. Okay, so when I say Super Bowl,
So it's proper plates.
yes, proper plates. Yes,
Yeah.
proper plates. That's
The superb pans.
none of this is getting in. None of this. ESPN is gonna be like, yeah, you said proper plates.
Yeah.
Get out of our office.
We'll be
Okay.
right back.
Okay. So now, let's get into our Super Bowl predictions. I will go last. Connor, what's
Yeah.
your Super Bowl prediction?
I think the Seahawks got it.
You think they
And
got it?
I think the score will be probably like 13-28.
Okay.
But I think they'll do it.
All right. That sounds good. Bobby.
I think it is going to be close and also low scoring.
Okay.
Both teams. I mean, the Seahawks have a good offense. The Patriots' offense is average.
Yes.
Especially Drake Mason playing kind of bad in the playoffs.
Yes.
But both teams have really good defenses.
Mhm.
So I think, and Christian Gonzalez is going to mirror Jackson Smith everywhere he goes in the field.
Yes.
So I think it's going to, and you know what? I'm a Cardinals fan, so I don't want the Seahawks to win. So I'm going to jinx them. Seahawks 21-20.
Which really means Patriots 21-20. But for me, let me just say this, Drake May. You think you're back. You Patriots fans think you're back. You've been blessed with the Celtics winning the championship, the Bruins winning the championship. Oh,
Boston's going crazy. huh?
Boston's going crazy. Yeah, right? Except I want you to suffer the same way that I, as a Sixers fan, as a Phillies fan, as an Eagles fan, as a Flyers fan, as a Penn State fan, have suffered for all these years. Drake May, the most interesting part about your life is your wife when she's baking. That's it. That's the only interesting part about you. So let me make this clear. The Seahawks are going to win 38-9. A blowout. Sam Darnold, you broke my heart when you beat Penn State in the Rose Bowl a few years ago. You're going to throw for over 450 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. You are going to make their heads go on swivels. One of their helmets is going to be backwards by the end of the game. Mark my words, the dynasty does not live on. Suffer, Patriots. You sold your souls to the devil. Now reap your punishment.
When you edit this, when we do the L's, that one might be.
Yes, that's going to be a big L. Just
The screen just goes red.
it just comes over me very slowly.
Yeah.
That's what's going to be.
Yeah. So if he's right, just block us out right now. Like right now, he's just like there's a light on him. Just,
Already on my very
Yeah.
white, godly-like appearance.
yeah. Otherwise, just like shine light on us and he's just gone.
Yes, just completely green screen me. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that was the first edition of the Commentators Booth.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone who did. Stay tuned for next Thursday, I believe, for our next episode.
Next Thursday or the week after.
Hopefully the NFL hasn't came and already killed me. So see you, everybody. It's good for you to watch.
Adios.